Well, thank you for joining me today as I really briefly go over when and where you should be using a weight belt for lifting. So when you're doing strength training, I recommend on all the programming that I make that is linear based strength training, even utilizing barbells. So when you get up close to that 80% range for your maximum weight that you can lift, I do recommend starting to use a weight belt. I didn't use one for a lot of years, and it was really just not knowing when to use it and not knowing why. I didn't have a lot of experience with it, and I kind of just figured, oh, well, I need to be able to work everywhere without using a weight belt, and so I don't want to use that as a crutch. Well, as I said, when you're getting close to that 80, 90% range of your max reps, you do want to start using a weight belt to protect yourself. Okay, you want to prevent injury to your back, and it also teaches you how to properly brace your core. And so if you're able to lift more weight by bracing your core and do it safely, if you're able to lift more weight safely, you're going to get more strength gains, more muscle gains, and again, we want to do that safely. So if you can lift more weight, you're going to get those gains, and using a weight belt is going to help you with that. So the way you use a weight belt is, it's not just like a kidney belt that you would wear, those old dirt bike kidney belts, or the back brace that you see the employees wearing that work in storerooms. So what we do is we wrap the weight belt around, and this is just a nylon weight belt. This is made by Brute Force. They get very expensive. You can get really nice thick leather ones. But the whole point is to have something that you can cinch around your waist, tighten it up. You don't want it loose. You want it tight enough that when I breathe down onto the belt, so I want to push my guts on the front of the belt, and I also want to use that thoracic and abdominal pressure to push on the back of the weight belt at the same time. So that's how tight you need it. You need to get it pretty tight so that when you take a breath on some of these max loads, you're going to take a breath, breathe into the belt, press against the belt with your guts, and hold that tension while you execute the rep. So whether you're squatting, whether you're deadlifting, and certainly I like to use it when I'm pressing overhead, because when you're pressing overhead, your back is very exposed in a compromised position. So I utilize a weight belt when things get heavy. So when do I not recommend using a weight belt? Well, as I said, I would use the weight belt as part of your strength training, those sets and reps where you're dialing in the weight, linear progression, percentage-based lifting, and it gets really heavy. I would utilize a belt, and you'll kind of feel that. You'll feel like you're doing some reps and I'm kind of in a bad position. I feel like I'm exposed. I want to protect my back. That's when I recommend using a belt. Now, when we're doing the functional sessions, or some people call them metabolic conditioning, or the metcons, or you're just kind of doing work that's specifically related to your job, especially as a tactical athlete, I don't recommend using the belt for those lighter loads. You do want your body to learn how to support it. You do want to brace without using the belt. But once again, if you're going up to 89% range, I recommend using a belt. Well, thank you for tuning in. This is a question that people had been asking, so I was happy to make the video. And if you have questions and there's things that you'd like me to address, just give my limited perspective as a tactical athlete, but I'm happy to do that. Please just send me a message or comment, and thank you once again for following the Prep and Defend channel.